What does the story of Nehemiah have to do with your career? What does that story have to do with your career? You would see how a whole chapter in the Bible, how it has so many lessons for you, how a deep dive into the book of Nehemiah can change how you view your career. While I will not be able to do a very deep dive, I will just call out those sections and I will show you what amazing lessons are there in the book of Nehemiah. Now, Nehemiah was very close to power. It was very close to power. It was the king's cupbearer. He had a position that had this close proximity to the king. And he had an amazing opportunity to request for approval to go back and build the wall of Jerusalem. So he's heard that the wall of Jerusalem needed to be rebuilt. And he knew he had a role to play. So he had placed reliance on the proximity he had with the king, and he has gone to ask for approval to go and build the wall of Jerusalem. When you look around you, in your workplace, there is a competitive advantage that you have. Whether you think you have it or not, you do. That competitive advantage, that proximity you have to decision makers, that relationship you've been able to build, use it for your own ambition. Don't say, oh, I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to disturb. You will have to. If you want to grow in your career, you will have to disturb those who can move the needle on your behalf. You just would have to disturb them. Okay? Now, what he did was he organized people and headed off to Jerusalem and made sure that the wall was built again. And he did this. He completed the building of the wall in 52 days. Now, this showed strong and exceptional leadership on Nehemiah's part, his ability to plan strategically, and his resilience in the face of adversity. Now, if you're in your career and you are able to demonstrate these three things, your ability to show leadership, to lead yourself, whether you're leading people or not, you're leading, because you're leading yourself every day. Your ability to lead yourself from the front and lead others from the front. Your ability to plan strategically. Look at all the resources in front of you and you're like, how do I use the resources that I've got now to get the best result? The same resources that you have is the same resources somebody else has. But the difference between you and them is who is giving or generating more results, given limited resources. Now, your ability to plan strategically to get the best out of the resources you have, and your ability to be resilient in the face of adversity. Those great men in the Bible, there is hardly any one of them that did not have their own issues. Is it David? Is it Abraham? There is just nobody. Is it Elijah? There is no great person in the Bible who you can say, even Solomon, as rich and as prosperous as his time was, he had his own issues that he had to deal with, such that he had to ask God for wisdom, and it was the wisdom of God that got him through his reign as the king. There is nobody that doesn't have their own beats and circumstances and all of that. So your ability to be resilient through the face of adversity is a key skill that will help you get through your career in one piece and help you thrive while others may be struggling. Okay, so what does the wall building mean for your career when it comes to your career development? What does it mean? The first thing I want you to think about is you need a foundation. It's like building a wall or building a house. You need solid foundation. There is no amount of game you're playing in your career. There is no amount of strategy you have in your career. If you don't have the right foundation, you don't have the right educational background, you don't have the core skills that is needed, you don't have the stones that is required to build that wall. That is it. So even though, and there are instances where what you studied is not what you're doing, but what you're doing, you need to keep studying what you're doing so you can build depth into your work. That just has to happen. So you need that strong foundation to build on. Every other thing is strategy. Every other thing is input in terms of dealing with people, dealing with resources and the rest. But you see that foundational requirement, the core skills you need to lead others to success, you need to have it. Okay, so that may mean you going back to school, that may mean you doing some online courses, that may mean you engaging with a career coach, that may mean it does whatever that means for you. Determine it and start working on your foundation. The next thing is you need to build a structure for your work. You need to build a structure. You need to determine. So in your line of work, there may be 5 different things you can be. There may be 6 different things you can be. You instead of thinking about being a generalist, you can pick one area and you can go knee deep, build the structure, get the people to support you, and build the right walls for your career. And you need gates. You need the gates. You need the people. You need the connection. You need the genuine relationships. You need that. So I need you to think deeply about wall building as it relates to your career. Okay? Now, if you look at Nehemiah, there were some key attributes that he brought to life. One of it is assessment. Before he started reconstructing, he performed a thorough assessment of the walls. And he looked at the condition of the walls. And night time, he did a survey. You need to step back in your career and look at it. Why am I not growing in my career? Why am I spending disproportionate amount of time on a particular grade and role? Why are people not reaching out to me when I submit my CV? What is going wrong? Why am I not having a good head start when I did my relocation? What do I need to do right now to build my career the way I want it to go? So you need to do that assessment. You need to do the landscaping. You need to do this. What is going on? Is it me? Is it my CV? Is it my contribution? Is it the value I bring on board? What am I good at? What am I not so good at? What do I need for the next level? What are the things I need to start thinking about? You need to do that honest assessment of where you are in your career. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you, and you will remain in one place if you don't do that assessment. Okay, the next thing is your ability to allocate your resources. Nehemiah knew that there were different sections of the wall that needed to be built. So what he did was to allocate various sections to various families, various groups, and he ensured that the best talents were focused on the best kind of work. Now, as a leader myself at work, I know the skills of my people, and I know where they best fit in terms of getting a particular project done. So I'll be like, this person is very detail oriented. They will be fantastic for this type of work because it is detail oriented. This person is very good with analytics. Anything, once we have massive data, they will be able to manipulate the data. They will be able to get the data together to make good insights out of it and know what portion of the work to put them. And this person is very good with people. So there are some aspects of project management, making sure things are done, persuading people to act, that they will be good with, irrespective of their grade. So it is important that you do your resource allocation in your career and look at the various areas of your career and you're like, I need help. Who do I need help with this technical bit. I need help with this people bit. I need help with getting this opportunity. Who do I reach out to? That is resource allocation. These are people and resources that I have in my hands. How do I use the people I have to get the best results? The last thing that I need you to think about is adaptability. In the face of trouble, Sanballat and Tobiah, they were there. They were making mockery and challenging Nehemiah. But in the face of all of that, He was focused on what he wanted to do. People will challenge you. People will be like, oh, but you're not ready to go to the next level. But who do you think you are? People will, by their action, by their words, they'll be like, you're doing too much. Why do you think you're this? Why do you think you're that? Do you think you're all that and more? People will say things. People will even go backbite, go and say things against you. Sometimes things you didn't even do. Sometimes people will misrepresent your intentions. People will legit lie against you in order to prove a point. But in the face of that adversity, your ability to remain diligent and keep going, that is what will separate you from others. Because what is success without you facing your own fair share of problems? And if you really, really, truly want to say, I am experienced, that is basically based on the quality of the problems that you have been exposed to in your time. So, your ability to do an honest assessment of where you are right now and know where to focus your work on, your ability to use the resources available to you to get the best result, and your ability to adapt in the face of tremendous criticism, in the face of tremendous uncertainties and chaos, will be the things and skills you need to thrive in your career. Okay, so it doesn't matter, you will remain focused and you have that focused determination to get to where you need to get to in good time. That is important that you do. Okay, there was something else Nehemiah did. He positioned guards at vulnerable points, places where he thinks that those places he thinks may not be safe. So you need to be very, very inquisitive and very discerning. If it looks like your words may be used against you, maybe don't talk at all. If it looks like your work may be used against you, maybe focus and get it done to the best quality ever, and even maybe ask people to come and check that work before submitting it, because someone may be on the other side waiting for you to trip. It is key for you to place guards at the vulnerable points. You yourself, you know your weak points when it comes to your work. When it comes to your career, you know your weak points, but you know that those weak points are also important if you need to. They're important for you to grow, if you need to continue to grow in your career. If those are your weak points, then what do you need to do? Start reaching out to people that will help you see things differently, grow, and become better. It is key. Okay? Now, again, like I said, in the face of feedback, sometimes malicious criticism, you must stand strong. That is not the time to start fighting everybody, saying people don't like you and all of that. You must apply wisdom. You must know it when people are giving you constructive feedback, and you must take it. If it's just take it and work on it, because at the point where when you are in denial, you're not going to grow. If you're in denial of the truth, you're not going to grow. So even if you can see that people are criticizing you in a way that you don't think it is right, think about the facts and think about what you need to do constructively in response to it. It is important if you want to continue to grow your career. Okay? Now, there was something Nehemiah also had. Inner circle. Okay? He did this assessment with a small group of people. You must have your own inner circle. People you trust. You must have your own inner circle. They don't necessarily have to be in the same career as you. They don't necessarily need to be in your same workplace, but you must have people you trust and you talk to. It's important. Just yesterday, I still had a chat with someone I trust very much to give me the right advice when it came to my career. You must have those people. You can't say I am a career coach and you have a career and then you have nobody you're talking to. That's just ridiculous. Because your thoughts, your perspective is not the only perspective out there. And sometimes you just need someone showing you what you're not seeing. So you must have that inner circle. You must also be willing to collaborate. Nehemiah did. He collaborated with small groups of people and assigned different sections to them. Collaborate with others. You are good with writing, someone is good with making videos, and you're a content creator. How can you collaborate? You are good with ads, somebody else is good with something else, maybe video editing or whatever. How can you collaborate? You have the numbers, somebody else has a product they want to sell. How can you collaborate? You in the full value chain, you are on level 2 or level 3. Somebody else is level 4, level 5. How can you collaborate? Start thinking collaboration rather than thinking going solo. This will help you grow and scale fast in your branding and in your career. At work, I have people that if I'm going through, I'm assessing a technical problem, I know the people to go to. If it is a people problem, I know the people to go to. You must have that. You must be able to collaborate. The next thing is leadership support. Imagine he had close proximity to the king. He leveraged it to go do what he needed to do to fulfill purpose and to end his book in his own book in the Bible. So your close proximity to resources is an asset. So you must use it. Don't say I don't want to disturb them. If you have access, use the access that you have. Don't overuse it, but use it. It's important that you gain support. And if you know that in your career, on your job, there are people who make decisions, you automatically know that you need to build some level of relationship. Don't throw relationship out the door. You need to build some level of a relationship. So you need to focus on that. Okay? So those are the key lessons coming out of Nehemiah today that I've got for you. If you have some time, go and read the full book of Nehemiah. It's very interesting. All of the chapters of it, you will see those key lessons that will be popping out to you, and that you will be able to, check back to this video and you can see those fantastic things that you can learn from the life of Nehemiah and how that applies to you in your career. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like, share, and leave some comments for me. I would love to read your comments. Until I see you in the next one, remain fantastic. Thank you.